Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to one of the coolest places on the planet. This is Archangel Falls. I'm on the subway hike today, and I've got a new camera. This is the GFX 100S. This is my maiden voyage with it. Problem is, I do not have the adapter for this lens for my Lee system, and you absolutely need a polarizer here. So I'm going to be holding my polarizer in front of the lens. I think it's going to work just fine because I'll be operating about 1/4 of a second today. I'm not doing long exposures. I want that texture in the falls, but it is going to be a pain in the ass. So it's going to be a little bit sketchy. Additionally, I brought my 6x17 camera out here with a 150mm lens. I'll be shooting Velvia and Ektar. I also bought some Portra just in case. The 6x17 is going to be absolutely perfect for these wide fall shots, getting a ton of detail. I'm going to start with the digital just to kind of scope out the area, and then we're going to work our way to the film shots. We've got the place to ourselves today. The weather is perfect. We've got some overcast clouds coming in. Right now we got some reflected light. I'm going to get moving though because it's only a matter of time before that sun comes up over the canyon and washes this out. When it does, I'm going to move up to the subway. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I haven't been here in about 5 years. When I came here last time, it was for fall, and I just lucked into a permit. I was in Zion for fall. They happened to have a cancellation. I picked up the permit. Didn't even know what I was getting into, and I really just did a poor job on the images. It was a little bit past peak. There was very few leaves on the trees, probably the reason I was able to get the permit in the first place, and just really wasn't happy. I would say this is better than fall because obviously you don't have the yellow, but I like the green. I think it looks beautiful against the red rock in the back. And additionally, the water flow is so much higher. It's absolutely incredible. Each one of these little ledges is dropping all of this water. I'm gonna photograph every single ledge in this damn place. But on top of that, there's so much green foliage around all of it, and the red and the green look absolutely fantastic together. I cannot believe I have to hold my polarizer like an idiot, but if that's the worst thing that happens to me today, it's a pretty good day. So the first shot here is I'm just gonna go vertical right up the middle here and get that pine tree at the top. And then I'm gonna move on to start shooting these ledges here. And I'm trying to stick around a half a second, right between 1/3 and a half a second. Seems to be the sweet spot with this flow. I want a little bit of motion in the water, of course, but I don't want it to be smoothed out. I want to see that texture. So about a half a second to 1/3 of a second, and that puts me around f13, ISO 50. Let me just show you why I have to have the polarizer. Polarized, not polarized. Polarized. So what I've done here is I have this one ledge where the water is kind of stopping, and then I'm getting dripping off of the front, and then the water's wrapping around, and it lands on a shelf just in front of that ledge. Let me bring you closer. Okay, so I'm focusing in on this ledge here. Sorry, it's gonna be hard to hear me over the rushing water, but I love the water coming down here and how it's just dripping all around it, and then it's landing here, and it's giving this awesome texture. And with the polarizer, you can see the beautiful color of the rock here. And the trouble is, as I mentioned, the sun's coming up over that peak and there are no clouds at the moment. So there's these bright spots up top. So I need to get to a position, I'm probably gonna move a little more this way to where I don't have those hot spots on top, but I can still get all this texture. Yeah, I think this will be a little bit better. And I have moved up to about 1.5 seconds now. Yeah, I like this. Okay, so walking you through this composition, I'm going wide here, and I'm just trying to catch, the water kind of cascades to the right, and then it comes down the face here. And I really like that. So I'm doing a horizontal composition. Right now it's in vertical. I don't really care for it in vertical. And it's probably gonna be about a 16:9. And it just goes all the way across, down, all the way to the left. And I'm about 40mm. And then I think I'm gonna call it here and move on to the subway because the light is almost directly overhead and I wanna be able to get that glow in the subway, and I think now is the right time to go. So I'll capture this shot, put it up on the screen, and then we'll move on to subway.
Although I really like this composition, I felt like there was too much going on in the scene. You have these gorgeous levels of falling water rushing in different directions, lush green foliage, and dramatic red rock. It almost felt like too much. For that reason, I think I prefer this image as a black and white. It feels much simpler and more pleasing to me, but I would love to know your thoughts.
walk you through this composition here. So it's pretty straightforward, obviously. We're looking down this tunnel. That's why it's called Subway. Looks like there's warm light coming through. It almost looks like a train. Oh, there's a cloud. And that's kind of the key. You need direct light. So once those clouds come over, great for shooting the falls, not great for shooting in here. All that light just kind of goes flat. And you really want that bright, warm light coming in because it just runs all the way along this tunnel. It's about 1 p.m. So around this time, for the next couple hours, you'll get that direct light coming through the tunnel. But I've set up here because now I have this nice ledge that's kind of running around, and it's this nice sweeping line into the frame, and then the water is running down across. And it's really nice with the polarizer, you get some nice rich colors. And I'm about f14, 1 second exposure with ISO 200. I bumped the ISO 200 because I don't want to be longer than 1 second, because then it starts to get muddy in this pool, and you get the swirling, and it looks, just looks gross. I don't know, I don't like it. So 1 second is really the longest that I'll go. And as soon as that sun comes back out, I'll snap the shot. Okay, well that's gonna do it for Subway. I think the light is probably going to get better over the falls, so I'm going to go ahead, break down for lunch, clean up my gear, swap out my battery, swap out my memory cards, and then we'll go head back to the falls. Okay, total change of plans. I've got 2 rolls of Velvia, or excuse me, 2 rolls of Probia. I'm using them both. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reshoot this that I shot with digital earlier, but I'm going to go wider. It's 6x17, of course. I'm going to catch the front edge of this. It's going to come all the way over to where we have these beautiful green, whatever the hell they are, and it's going to come all the way across the top. I'm going to shoot, excuse me, I'm going to shoot 2 frames there, and then I'm going to go up top and I'm going to shoot just those strings. Now that's going to be tough, right? Because I'm going to have to use the viewfinder on my phone because I can't refocus because the film will be in the camera. So I'm just going to pop it up. I'm going to use the distance to focus, and I'm going to hope for the best. That's a secondary composition. I don't really care about it. Then I'm going to pop out that roll of film, load in another one, and then I'm going to shoot the primary composition up top. I'll use 2 frames of that, and then I don't know how I'm gonna burn the last 2 frames, but I gotta move quick because clouds are over the sun right now. It looks beautiful. I don't know how much time I have, but my microphone's gonna die. So gotta get moving. Okay, there might be a change of plans. I think I'm hearing thunder. This is not a place you want to be if thunderstorms come through. So I might just do this first composition because this is the one I'm most excited about anyway. Oh, trigger release, idiot, trigger release. My dark claw. Yeah. Let's see if I can see well enough without the dark claw. Shoot. I sure can. No, I can't. Stay. Yeah, I need to move. Those really look like rain clouds. General rule of thumb in Utah, especially in canyons, if you see rain coming, you don't want to be in a place like this, but...
And this is when my microphone died. As you could tell by my constant running back and forth to my bag, I was really riding the struggle bus here. I thought I would be staying in this canyon until late in the afternoon, waiting for the sun to fall to the other side and once again casting reflected light. As I watched those clouds roll in, I knew that wouldn't be happening. I rushed to set up the composition I scouted earlier, and I shot the entire roll of film. I shot 2 images at my metered reading and bracketed plus and minus 1 stop for the last frames. After I finished the roll, I realized my millionth error for the last 10 minutes. I forgot my polarizer. Of course, the one lens I actually had the ring for, I forget to put it on. But much to my surprise, when I got the film home and developed it, I actually did everything else right, and the film came out beautiful. I really like this composition, especially in 6x17. The cascading falls, bordered by the lush green foliage, it really does look otherworldly. Capture almost this identical composition when shooting digital, and although I prefer the rendering on film, I did want to show both, as that glare from not using the polarizer in the film image is quite noticeable when you compare it to the digital image. So overall, I think I prefer the digital image, but I'd love your opinion. And in case you're judging me for packing it up and leaving early, this is what it looked like just 15 minutes later. It was chucking down rain. And although it did clear up by the time we reached the trailhead, I'm still glad we played it safe and got out of there. Alright, well that's going to do it for me this week. I hope you enjoyed the video and especially the images. Have a fantastic weekend and get out there and make some images.